Okay.
Good morning, teachers. Welcome to today's English Learning Outcome Training. I hope everyone is happy after celebrating the Pongal festival. I could imagine the happiest faces from you. With the freshness, I think we can start with a warm up activity. So, if it is possible,
Audio cut ஆக மாட்டேங்குது.
if it is not possible for someone, you can sit, teachers. Please stand up.
தெரியாது நமக்கு அவங்க கேட்கணும்.
If I say turn right, you just turn on right side. If I say turn left, you turn on left side. It's a simple activity, just like a warming up activity. If I say please turn right, you have to turn right. Turn left, you have to turn left. That's all, teachers. Okay, shall we do? Okay. Turn right. Turn left. Turn right. Turn left. Turn right. Turn left. Turn right. Turn on left. Turn right. Okay, teachers. Stop. Now the real game is, now I am going to say turn right and you have to turn on left. If I say turn left, you have to turn on right side. Okay, in the opposite way. If you are out, you have to sit down. Okay. Shall we start the activity? Shall we start the game? Okay, now. Turn right. Turn left. Turn right. Turn left. Turn left. Turn right. Turn left. Turn right. Okay, teachers. Nice. Thank you for doing this activity. You can please sit down now. So today we are going to engage ourselves in the learning outcomes for fifth standard particularly. Now we are in the COVID-19 lockdown period. It seems to be difficult for us to continue the regular classes in the school, to conduct the teaching learning activities with the students. But anyhow, as teachers, we have to bring out the learning outcome from the students. It becomes our responsibility. That's why the government is supporting us, Ilam Thedi Kalvi, through online classes, through WhatsApps. So anyhow, we have to bring out the learning outcome from the students. What is the goal of our teaching? What is the aim of our teaching? We are in the classroom teaching. What is the aim of our classroom teaching? The goal, the aim, the achievement, whatever we can say, only one word we can say, it is learning outcome from the student after our teaching process. After our teaching process, we could see the learning outcome from the students. It can be measured, and in turn it becomes a skill of a student. The learning outcome will become the skill. Okay, teachers. Before entering into the session, I want to brief something about what is LO. What is LO?
Slides are-
Okay, teachers. What is learning outcome? Learning outcomes are user-friendly statements that tell students what they will be able to do at the end of a period of time. They are measurable and quite often observable. Simply to say, a learning outcome is what we can expect from the student after a teaching process. For example, many of us know how to ride a bicycle, but some years ago, someone has taught us how to ride the bicycle. Maybe our uncle or our father might have taught us how to ride the bicycle. So, what was their aim? What was their goal? Their aim was to teach us how to ride the bicycle. Now it has become a skill to us. We can ride the bicycle. Okay, teachers, I hope you understand the word LO, learning outcome. What is learning outcome? The second question is why NCRT has created a module prescribing some LOs for primary and upper primary levels. There were many surveys relating to the achievement of the students all through India, all over India. There are many states in India which may differ in social, economical, and physical level. So there were many differences in achieving the learning outcomes for the students. That's why NCRT, particularly in the year 2014, our MHRD, Ministry of Human Resource and Development, has gone for a survey, and from that survey they found there were many differences in the achievement. That's why the NCRT has formed an unique module article for learning outcomes for primary and upper primary students. Okay, teachers. And the third one is what are the things we require to attain, to achieve a learning outcome from a student? Can you guess, teachers? What are we require to attain or achieve the learning outcome from a student? Okay, teacher, let me tell you a proper lesson plan. When we start writing a lesson plan, we should keep it in mind that our lesson plan, totally our lesson plan activities should cover the learning outcome what we try to reach in that particular lesson plan. So first of all, a proper lesson plan. And next one is teaching learning materials. Teaching learning materials. The teaching learning materials may be differ in different ways. That can be audible, visible, pictures, real objects we use. And the third one, teaching learning activities. What are the activities we are giving to the students to support the students to achieve the learning outcome? So the activities also be coordinating with the learning outcomes. And finally, proper assessment, evaluation. Through evaluations only, we can measure whether the student has achieved the learning outcomes. Okay, teachers, I hope you understood what is LO and what the NCRT want to tell us and what the required processes to be taken for a better learning outcome from the students. Now, next slide. No. Teachers, before starting our class session for particularly in the 5th standard, I just want to brief you or consolidate you the learning outcomes from class 1 to class 4. Because for a 5th standard teacher or a 4th standard teachers, any class teachers, they should know the previous learning outcomes of the students, whether the students has achieved that particular learning outcome. For example, maybe a 3rd standard student should write a sentence or a 2 sentence in English. If he can achieve in 1st standard LO, particularly learning common words, without knowing some of the words, he cannot write a sentence. So first, he has to learn the class 1 learning outcome, learns some common words. Then only he can write a sentences. So now I want to brief you some skills, not particularly the learning outcomes. What are the skills for a class 1, 2, 3, 4 students should have been achieved? First, let's go with class 1. Teachers, listen carefully. I think you can take notes of it. You can take your notebooks and you can write it down. Because after telling for 4 classes, I will have assessment here and you have to answer it. Okay, just take your notebooks. You can start, listen and you can start writing. Now, for class 1, what are the skills are important for class 1 student? Learns common words. A 1st standard student should learn some common words. Common words means maybe in the classroom situation, maybe in his house, maybe in his surroundings, birds' names, animal names, utensils, and classroom objects, things in his bag, like that. Next one is sings rhymes. Teachers, the parents send the students to the school. Generally, some of our parents' expectations, maybe as parents, we also expect from our children from pre-primary level, we love to hear rhymes from our children. So the parent expects their children to sing rhymes. So this is a particular skill they should have to achieve for class 1. The next one, asks and responds to simple questions. Class 1 student must ask and respond to a simple question. What is simple question? What is your name? What is your father name? Where are you coming from? The students also should ask some questions. Okay, teachers. I hope you have written the things displayed in the screen. Learns common words, sings rhymes, asks and responds to simple questions. So now let's go to the next slide showing class 2. What are the skills to be achieved by a class 2 student? I have consolidated the LOs from the NCERT module. A class 2 child should write 2 to 3 simple sentences by himself. 2 to 3 simple sentences. See, in the first standard, we saw that they should learn some common words. Okay. By using those common words in class 2, they have to write 2 to 3 simple sentences. And next one, speaks few sentences about daily events and festivals. Maybe you can ask about Pongal when the students, if they are in the class, but not now. If they are in the class, you can ask them, how was your village festival yesterday? How was your birthday celebrated at home? You can ask the students and you can get the answer from them. Teachers, have you written the class 2 skills? Writes 2 to 3 simple sentences, speaks few sentences about daily events and festivals. Okay, teachers, now let's go for class 3. In class 3, students should know to recite poems in English with intonation. Singing rhyme is different than with reciting poem. So here in class 3, a student have to recite poems in English with intonation, proper intonation. Next one, speaks oral telephonic conversation. Maybe with 2 members. Oral telephonic conversation means 2 members are talking with each other, just like that. Reads posters, tickets, labels, and pamphlets. And last one, uses nouns, pronouns, adjectives, prepositions, and opposites. These are the skills for our 3rd standard students. Please take a note of it, teachers. Recites poems in class with intonation, speaks oral telephonic conversation, reads posters, tickets, labels, and pamphlets, uses nouns, pronouns, adjectives, prepositions, and opposites. Okay, teachers, let's go for class 4. A 4th standard student should enact stories read and heard. He should enact. So we have to give them the chance to enact in the classroom. Reads independently and silently. Reads independently and silently. We should give proper reading practice so that they can read independently and silently. Identifies parts of speech in sentences. Uses dictionary to find out spelling and meaning. Speaks about family of social issues, for example, conversation of water or maybe pollution, etc. etc. So teachers, now we have seen the skills to be covered for class 1, class 2, class 3 and class 4. Now I think we can have an assessment today now. Okay, teachers, there are 4 questions here for you. You just read the question and the objective type only. You can answer the question. First question, teacher. The above statement is the appropriate learning outcome for the above statement is the appropriate learning outcome for class 1, class 2, class 3, or class 4. What is the statement there? Reads, posters, tickets, labels, pamphlets. Okay, teachers, you put question number 1 and you can write the answer. If it is A, write A or B or C or D. Okay, teachers, let's go for the next question. This statement is for appropriate for which class? The above statement is the appropriate learning outcome for class 1 or class 2 or class 3 or class 4. Learns common words and associates words with picture. Learns common words and associates words with pictures. Okay, teachers, let's go for question number 3. Recites poems in English with intonation. Recites poems in English with intonation. The above statement is appropriate learning outcome for which class? Decide yourself, teacher, and write the answer. Question number 3. Write the correct answer, teacher, as you think. It may differ. Okay, now question number 4. Composes and writes simple short sentences with space between words. Students should know the words, and using the word, he or she composes a simple sentence with space between words. Composes and writes simple short sentences with space between words. The above statement is appropriate learning outcome for which class? Class 1, class 2, or class 3, or class 4? Write the answers, teachers. Okay, I hope everyone has written the answers. Shall we check it out, teachers, whether your answers are correct? Okay, now let's check the answers. The answers are for question number 1, class 3. I have written the LO number also, teacher. The particular LO number also. Class 3, E304. And for question 2, class 1, the particular skill can be by the learning outcome E101. And question number 3, class 3, E301. Okay. And question number 4, class 2, LO number E212. I hope everyone's answers are correct, because you are experienced teachers here. We are, so the answers might have been correct. Thank you, teachers. And now, for every teaching process, there are 3 domains of learning. So here I want to discuss what are the three domains of learning, how it is connected with the learning outcome. Here is a video for you. Just keenly observe and listen to the video. After listening to the video, there will be an assessment. I will ask some questions and you have to answer it. Okay, teachers, now let's listen to the video. Sir, me.
Yeah. Stay.
Yes. After exam.
Okay. Control, control.
Whether you reached or missed your goals and by how much at the end of reaching a list. It's my pleasure to meet you through this video. Let me share details about learning objectives of a 21st century lesson plan in this video. The first step in writing a good lesson plan is to write objectives. A learning objective should describe what students should know or be able to do at the end of the lesson. Consider asking yourself the following questions to help you decide your lesson's objectives. What will the students learn in this lesson? Exactly how will the students show that they understood and learned the goals of your lesson? And other methods to determine how well the learning goals have been met. Here are a few things that a teacher should consider while writing the lesson's objectives. Our objectives must be clear, well-defined statements of what students will know, understand, and be able to do at the end of the lesson. Learning objectives must be measurable. Measurable objectives can help the teacher in evaluating the results after the lesson is completed. Learning objectives should be written with the level of knowledge of the students in our classroom in mind. Learning objectives should be challenging while still providing students with a reasonable chance to achieve the goal. The skills or knowledge described in the objectives must be appropriate for the grade level. The teacher must inform the student when it is appropriate for them to demonstrate the newly acquired ability. When learning objectives must be measurable, understand, and be able to do at the end of the lesson. Learning objectives must be measurable. Measurable objectives can help the teacher in evaluating the results after the lesson is completed. Learning objectives should be written with the level of knowledge of the students in our classroom in mind. Learning objectives should be challenging while still providing students with a reasonable chance to achieve the goal. The skills or knowledge described in the objectives must be appropriate for the grade level. The teacher must inform the student when it is appropriate for them to demonstrate the newly acquired ability. When writing lesson objectives, Teacher will become smart if they hold these smart attributes in mind. Objectives for learning can be grouped into three major domains: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. The cognitive domain aims to develop the knowledge of the individual. You are well aware that the cognitive domain is divided into 6 levels: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, evaluation, and synthesis. While writing the objectives, teacher must ensure that the written objectives help the students think in terms of higher levels of cognitive domain. Let's say that you are writing a lesson plan on nutrition and the following objectives are included in the lesson plan. The first objective relates directly to the cognitive domain's lowest level. Here, the students simply recall the information they learned about the book. The second objective relates directly to the cognitive domain's second stage. Students may be able to understand whether a specific food is classified as carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin, or mineral. The next two objectives, that's the highest level. At this level, the students are able to remember the facts, understand the concept, apply the knowledge, analyze the facts, evaluate the result, and create something new. By writing the objective, the teacher must ensure that the objectives cover the different levels of cognitive domain. Next comes the affective domain. This includes the feelings, emotions, and attitudes of the individual. People appreciate the taste of different food items, enjoys his face reaction on mirror while eating bitter gum. These objectives deal with feelings and emotions of the learner. The last one, the psychomotor domain, includes utilizing motor skills and the ability to coordinate them. Here is a sample objective. People construct a food pyramid using cardboard and available food items. The objectives of a holistic lesson plan developed by a teacher requires the inclusion of all the three domains in constructing learning tasks for students. Remember the SMART attributes and the three categories of domains when writing objectives for a lesson plan. Last but not the least, learning outcome should be informed to the students before we start the lesson. If students are aware of the intended outcome, then they know where their focus should lie. This clarity helps decrease anxiety about their ability to succeed and helps build their motivation. I'd like to give you a food for thought. What are your objectives in the week of teaching? Share your thoughts in the comment section. See you in the next video.
So, next slide.
School.
Okay, teachers. I hope you enjoyed the video. This video is describing the connectivity between the three domains, that is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor, with our teaching, classroom teaching process. For each and every lesson plan we write, each activity will be in any of this domain only. And you should have heard a word SMART, SMART. A learning outcome should be measurable, attainable, and in time bound. What is the time bound? Means a learning outcome should be with a time bound. If a learning outcome is to be learned in class 2, and the student must learn in the class 2, with skipping that LO, we should not go to the next LO. So with the time limit, the LO has to be covered. Okay, just now I have some questions for you related to the video we saw now. Okay, teacher. Now the assessment questions relating to the video. Even if you didn't hear or listen the video, as experienced teachers, you can easily answer these questions. A good learning outcome should be whether it is measurable, well defined, precise, none of the above, or all the above. Take your notebooks and write the answers, teachers. Write the questions and then write the answers. A good learning outcome should be measurable, well defined, precise. None of the above or all the above. Okay, shall we go to the next question now?
Answer 10%.
You can even comment in the comment box also. You can write the answers through comment box.
Given all the above. All the above new.
Okay, teacher. Question number 2. What are the 2 questions you need to ask before writing the learning outcomes for a lesson? What are the 2 questions we should have in mind before writing a lesson plan? What are the 2 questions you need to ask before writing the learning outcomes for a lesson? We should have many questions we may have in mind, particularly 2 questions we should have in mind before writing a learning outcome for a lesson. Write the questions and then write your answers, teachers. Let's go to question number 3. What the word SMART stands for? You could have heard in the video. What the word SMART stands for? S for what word, M for what, A for what, R for what, and T for what? You can even discuss with your friends and write the answers, teachers.
Specific name.
Okay, some of the answers are coming through comment boxes, and very good answers, teachers. Kavita, Anand. Okay, teachers, thank you for your answers through comment box.
For specific.
Okay. Very good. Uma Mageshwari, teacher. Very good, teacher. Thank you. Okay, we can finally, in the last, we can check out the answers. I have the answer key. Okay, very good, teachers. Thank you for your comment. And the last question. The cognitive domain aims to develop A. Motor skills, B. Knowledge of the individual, C. Feelings, emotions, and attitudes of the individual, D. All the above. We know the three domains: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Particularly, the cognitive domain deals with which area? Motor skill, knowledge of the individual, feelings, emotions, and attitudes of the individual, or all the above. Okay, teachers, the correct answers are coming through the comment boxes. I could see. Knowledge of the individual, very good. Thank you, teachers. Okay, let's now check out the answers for 4 questions. Okay, the final question. I have another one question here. Learning outcomes should be informed to the students before we start a lesson. Learning outcomes should be informed to the students before we start the lesson. Yes or no? Should we inform the students about the learning outcome before starting a lesson or not? What is the answer? Yes or no? Yes.
No.
Okay. There are 2 types of answers coming through in the comment box. Yes, and some teachers say yes and some no. Okay, let's see in final what is the correct answer is. The learning outcomes should be informed to the student before we start the lesson. Yes or no? Okay, teacher, the answers may be differ, but here it's just a reminder for us about learning outcome. That's all. Here are the answers, teachers. Question number 1. All the above. A good learning outcome should be measurable, well-defined, precise. A good lesson plan, good learning outcome should be measurable, well-defined, and precise. And the next question, what are the two questions we should keep in mind before deciding a learning outcome? The first question is, what will the student learn in this lesson? What will the students learn in this particular lesson? And next question, exactly how will the students show that they understood and learned the goals of your lessons? Maybe the next question may be after evaluation. Okay, we can find the students whether they have reached the goal or not. We can find it after the evaluation process. These are the two questions we should keep in mind before deciding a learning outcome. And the third question, SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. And the fourth question, cognitive domain is related with the knowledge of the individual. And the final question, learning outcome should be informed before. The answer is yes. Okay, teachers. I think now we had a discussion about the learning outcomes for from the standard 1 to 4. Now let's enter into class 5th. So here I have some activities for you from class 5th. Here are some activities for you from the class 5th. You just watch the activity or observe the videos, and you have to answer me by using your Katral module. Using the NCRT module, you have to find out the particular LO. You have to write the number of the LO and particularly the LOs also. Okay. These activities are from standard 5th. First lesson, let us listen to a poem.
Again. Escape.
Hi friends, welcome to our channel Jolly Learning.
ஜாலி ஜாலி வாங்க நம்ம சேனலுக்குள்ள போலாம்.
இதுவரைக்கும் எங்க சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணாதவங்க சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணி பக்கத்துல இருக்க பெல் ஐகானை கிளிக் பண்ணி ஆல் அப்படிங்கிற ஆப்ஷனை செலக்ட் பண்ணுங்க. அப்பதான் நான் போடுற வீடியோஸ் நோட்டிபிகேஷனுக்கு வரும். 5th standard, 2nd term, English subject. Hospitality of Mother Nature, it gives everything to all creature. Look at the hospitality of Mother Nature, it gives everything to all creature. There are no strangers under the tree, enjoy the shadows and fruits are free. There are no strangers under the tree, enjoy the shadows and fruits are free. There is a home for bird and refreshing place for the herd. There is a home for bird and refreshing place for the herd. This virtue is our culture. Follow it in your future. This virtue is our culture. Follow it in your future. Always welcome with smiling face. Wins the hearts in life is race. Always welcome with smiling face. Wins the hearts in life is race. Fortune not with its best, those who cast for their guest. Fortune knocks with its best, those who cast for their guest. Vitality of Mother Nature. என்ன சொல்றாங்க ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்?
Teachers, now we have heard a poem from standard 5th, Mother Nature. Mother Nature. We use many ways to teach the poem, and we wish the students to sing the poem, to recite the poem to their peers and in his home. So, what will be the learning outcome, particularly in this poem? Teaching this poem, what is the particular learning outcome is derived from this poem? You take your module and check the list there for 5th standard. Find the appropriate learning outcome related to this poem. You need not to write the full sentence there, but just you can write the number, learning outcome number. For example, E501, E502 or something. Okay, teachers, okay, fine. There are many answers. Let's check the correct answer. The answer is E502. The learning outcome is recites and shares English songs, poems, games, riddles, stories, tongue twisters, etc. Recites and shares with peers and family members. E502. So if we are teaching a poem, if we want the student to recite the poem, and we are preparing the lesson plan for that process, the learning outcome would be this one. If you are explaining some patriotism in a poem, the learning outcome may differ. But reciting the poem, the learning outcome is E502. Okay, teachers, let's go for next one. Informal letter. Here is an informal letter. Tini, 19/1/2022. My dearest grandma, Robin, a boy is writing a letter to his grandmother. Thank you so much for your lovely bicycle that you gave me. It was my best birthday present. I was so happy when I got it. That is my favorite color too. I plan on going for a long bicycle rides every morning. My friends will join me. We will have so much fun together. I will think of you every time I ride my bicycle. I hope you will visit me soon. Your loving grandson, Robin. Okay, teachers, when we teach the students an informal letter, what will be the learning outcome? Can you find it through the module, teacher, please? Take the 5th standard English module. Go through one by one. What is the learning outcome for particularly this informal letter? Okay. Let's go for the answer. The answer is E515. E515. Writes informal letters, messages, and emails. So nowadays we don't write letters. We message or we mail for our family members, our relations. So the yellow is E515. And for prose, here I have my native place. See, I want to tell you in short. Santosh, a boy who goes to his village and he writes his experiences in his diary. He writes his experiences. He visits many places in his village. He goes to the field. He goes to the pond, near the pond. He plays with the children there. He comes to know many new games played in the village. And he writes everything in his diary. So after this lesson, what our students should learn? What is the learning outcome we want to see after teaching this lesson? He writes his personal experience. So what is the learning outcome given in the module? Can you find it, please? Okay, teachers, I will show the answer now. E50309. He connects ideas that he or she has inferred through reading and interaction with his or her personal experiences. Okay, teachers, I gave some 3 activities for 5th standard. You can check it out the answers. So the time is coming closer. But thank you for giving me this opportunity. And pardon me if any mistakes made with me. And okay, teachers. Now you can write some activities, some process, teaching process relating to learning outcomes. Take your module. There are some learning outcomes listed in the book, in the module. You have to read a learning outcome and you have to write an activity apart from book. You can give it by yourself. Take the module and read a learning outcome. Take some 2 or 3 learning outcome. And now you choose an activity by yourself to bring up the learning outcome. So this activity is for you now. You can consult with your friends nearby and write some activities related to the learning outcome. I think there are 18 to 19 learning outcomes in the module. You take any 1 or 2. For time being, any 1 or 2, write the learning outcome and write an appropriate activity related to the learning outcome and share it with your friends in the class now, in this session. Okay, thank you for giving me opportunity, teachers. Pardon me if there were any mistakes. Thank you again. புரிஞ்சிருக்குமா சார்?
நிறைய கமெண்ட்ஸ் நல்லா இருந்தது. பாசிட்டிவ் நிறைய இருந்துச்சு.
Good morning, teachers. I am Pradeepa from Kambam Block. Thanks to all for giving me this opportunity to stand before you, teachers. Now I am here to present you the clear view of the learning outcomes for 4th standard. Before entering into the learning outcomes, let me want to share you some slides that will be useful for you in future. If you want, please take down notes, teachers.
Right.
Okay, teachers. We are going to see a clear view about learning outcomes. What is mean by learning outcomes? See, learning outcomes are nothing but the statements. It is in the form of a statement that is declarative or assertive form. It may not be in interrogative like that. Let me give you one example. See, teachers, this is for 4th standard. Take your module and you just put number like this. E stands for English and 4 is for 4th standard. 0, 1 stands for learning outcome number 1. Like that, you have to number these sequences. See this first learning outcome. Recites poems with appropriate expressions and intonation. See, this is in the form of a statement and it ends with a full stop. Next. These learning outcomes shows significant and essential learning that learners have achieved and can reliably demonstrate at the end of a course or program. What is the course or program here? The course or program is nothing but our classroom, or at the end of a class, or at the end of a first term, or at the end of the 4th standard, the student will be able to achieve this learning outcome. See, teachers, it contains significant and essential learning. What does mean by significant? Significant in terms mean particular. One learning outcome will shows a particular skill that a learner should have achieved, and it can easily be demonstrated. Reliably here means that easily be demonstrated. So please note down, teachers, learning outcomes are statements. Learning outcomes are statements. Let me tell you once again, learning outcomes are nothing but the statements. Let me move on to next slide, teachers. Am I audible, teachers? If there are any problem, please give your comments in the comment box. If I am going faster itself, you can tell me, teachers. Let me move on to next slide. See, the learning outcomes. What is the need for learning outcomes? Learning outcomes are nothing but the students will be able to produce at the end of our class. That it is the goal that we are going to achieve. And how it can be achieved? Through our process. What is the process here? Our classroom activities. What are the TLM and what are the classroom activities that we are going to give comes under this process. And why it have to be achieved and how we can know that we can achieve this learning outcome? Through the students. Let me move on to next slide. See, what are the characteristics of good learning outcomes? There are 5 characteristics of good learning outcome. If you want, please take the notes. The first one is specific and it include an active verb. What is mean by active verb? Active verb is nothing but the action is done by the subject or the doer. Who is the doer? Who is the subject here? Our learner, our students are the subject here. Our students can be able to do the activities so that they can achieve the learning outcomes in a proper way. And the second point is measurable. Measurable here means that's capable to describe the specific facts. Let me move on to our fourth standard learning outcomes. See teachers, let me take a learning outcome. E402 enacts different roles in short skits. What is the learning active verb here? Enacts is the active verb. And for E401, recites is the active verb. For E403, you can respond me in the comment box, teachers. Response is the active verb. And for E404, likewise, all can answer me, teachers. For E401 to E409. Or you can, all of you are having your module. Please turn over the page number 42 and 43. That gives the learning outcomes for 4th standard. We can pick out the active verb from E401 to E419. Please underline in your book itself. And for E405, describes is the active verb. E406, reads. For 07, shares, like that. And for 19th one, it is presence is the active verb here. Let me take the E414. The learning outcome is measurable. What is measurable here? What is the skill defined here? The students or the learners will be able to write informal letters or messages with a sense of audience. Who is the audience here? Audience here is we, the audience. If a student writes an informal or formal letter to their parents, informal letters to their parents is the audience there. And if we write a leave letter for us, teacher is the audience there. If we can be able to understand the formal letter, then the skill will be, and the learning outcome will be clearly achieved by the student. So the skill is, the learning outcome is measurable. It is in the form of measurable. And next, it is attainable. Attainable here, a 4th standard boy or girl can be able to attain this learning outcome. They writes informal letters or messages with a sense of audience through our classroom activities. So it's our duty to frame the activities for the essential learning outcomes. Next, it describes meaningful learning. Okay, every learning outcome will show us presence or describe what the learning is going to be there. Next, and the 5th one is written in clear, understandable language. Yes, teachers, from 1 to 19 learning outcomes, if we read, that is in the simple English and we can easily understandable. So these are the 5 characteristics of a good learning outcome. So each learning outcome will have these characteristics. Let me move on to next slide. First of all, you have to have a clear difference between the student learning outcomes and objectives. What is meant by learning objectives? That means learning objectives are nothing but the கற்றல் நோக்கங்கள், and learning outcomes means கற்றல் விளைவுகள். Learning objectives is for the teacher and learning outcomes are for the students. Learning outcomes are program level statements. What is mean by program here? Program is nothing but the framework for the listeners. Who are the listeners here? Our students are the listeners. So learning outcome is mainly for the students. Learning objectives are course level statements. What is mean by course level here? Here the course level is framed for the speakers. Who are the speakers? We, teachers are the speakers here. So if you are going to write a lesson plan, learning objectives is for us and learning outcomes are for our students. So we have to gain a clear difference between these. Student learning outcomes, it also describes the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values that students gain from the program. And learning objectives, it also describes the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values that students gain from a course. And learning outcomes, they are more overarching and often encompass multiple courses. What does mean by overarching? Overarching means it is comprehensive. Adhigapadiyana. Let us, in the last class, Sir taught about Mother Nature. In that, what are the values that the students gain from that? The value there is saving the nature. So saving the nature is the value that the student gained from that class. It's more overarching. Overarching means adhigapadiyana, more comprehensive. What are the other values related to that? Saving the, controlling the air pollution, controlling the water pollution. It's also the saving the nature. So, and encompass multiple courses. Here encompass means that comprises, it comprises of all those things. And learning objectives are more detailed and course content specific and more detailed. These detailed is for us. These detailed is for us. Let me tell you one example, teachers. If you are taking a class including the 4 types of sentences, your learning objective is define each of the 4 types of sentences, write and read sentences that fit into the each form of the 4 types. What will be the learning outcome here? Let us pick up from our 4th standard module itself. Which learning outcome comprises of the grammar part? See, E416 uses nouns, verbs, adjectives, and prepositions in speech and writing. Not just understanding the grammar, but he can apply, he can use it in speech and writing. So our learning outcome for grammar is E416. Okay, teachers. So you can have a clear view about the difference between the student learning outcomes and objectives. And next one is very important. Please write it down. Totally, there are 79 learning outcomes for class 1 to 5th in English. For first standard, there are 15, and for second, 12, and for third, 14, and for fourth, 19, and for fifth also 19. So totally 79. Please write it down, teachers. It's very important because in your evening session or in the next batch training, you can have these questions also. I can't know, but you can have or not. Let me move on to another slide. See, Sir gave you a clear information about the 3 domains in our teaching learning activities. So I just save my time. Next, we move on to Bloom's taxonomy. This Bloom's taxonomy is mainly for our evaluation process. If we are framing a classroom activity and we can achieve the learning outcome, whether it achieved or not, can be evaluated by our evaluation. Our evaluation questions or part should contain these 6 things. First one is remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, create. Let me share the screen. See, this is in 1956, this Bloom's taxonomy was framed and it was revised in 2001 by Mr. Anderson. The noun form is changed into verb form. See, knowledge becomes remember, comprehension becomes understand, application becomes apply, and analysis becomes analyze, synthesis becomes create, and evaluation becomes evaluate. These 6 things must include in our evaluation part. In Tamil, we can say as Aridal, Puridal, பயன்படுத்துதல், பகுத்தல், தொகுத்தல், மதிப்பீடு. Let me say you an example. If you are going to take a tense class, you are going to teach tenses in grammar, our knowledge question will be, what are the tenses that you have learned in your 4th standard? That is the remembrance. That is the question that based on remember or knowledge. And the second one, understand. Understandable question. Give an example of a present tense. If he can understand about present tense, he can say an example easily. And the third one is apply. By using a present tense, you can frame a sentence. Will be our application question. And for the fourth one, analysis, you show them a paragraph and ask them to read and ask, check whether the paragraph is in past tense. Check whether the paragraph is in past tense. He can analyze and tell you whether the paragraph is in past tense or not. And the fifth one is synthesis or creation. For synthesis, you can ask them to create a you can make them to see teachers. And for analysis, what I told, and for analysis, you can ask them to do an activity. You just gave them 10 verbs and you put a tabular column of present tense, past tense and future tense and ask them to put the 10 verbs in the concerned columns. This is for analysis activity. And for synthesis, you can check the paragraph whether it is past tense or not. And for evaluation, for evaluate, you ask them, that is create a paragraph which is in present tense. Like that, you can ask. For these 6 comes under evaluation activity. You can frame according to the thought that what you are going to ask. So this is about the revised Bloom's taxonomy. And the next slide is English skills. See, through this 19 learning outcomes in 4th standard, you are going to develop these 4 skills. That is listening, reading, writing, and speaking. See, listening and writing will comes under encoding thoughts. Here, encoding means creation of messages. And reading and speaking will comes under reading and listening comes under decoding thoughts. Here, decoding means interpreting of messages. Interpreting of messages. Let me give an example by showing the learning outcomes. See, this first one, recites poems with appropriate expressions and intonation. Here, which skill is developed? Reciting poems comes under speaking skill. Listening and speaking skill. Then second one, enacts different roles in short skits. Enacting a different role will comes under listening and speaking. Listening and speaking. For E401, which part will come under this? You can say me in comment box also. Let us sing activity will comes under E401. Recites poems with appropriate expressions and intonation. Appropriate here is nothing but proper. And second one, enacts different roles in short skits. Enacting here means to act out or to perform a play in a short skits means that written drama. So here, which skill is developed? Both listening and speaking. This E403 responds to simple instructions, announcements in English made in class or school. See, E403 responding to simple instructions will comes under motivation or in our lunch break or in our prayer hall or at the end of the session or in our playground. If you are giving an instructions, he must be able to analyze and exhibit by orally or by activities. So here, listening and listening activity skill will be developed. If he responds you by oral, that speaking skill is developed. If he responds by in writing, writing skill is developed. And for E404, response verbally in writing in English to questions based on day-to-day life experiences, an article, story, or poem heard or read. Response verbally. Response verbally means by saying it in oral. So oral means here speaking skill is developed, and in writing means writing skill is developed. So these 90 learning outcomes will make the students to develop all these LSRW skills. Teachers, I had given you a juice extract where these 19 learning outcomes comes in 4th standard. If you are in need, please write down, or you just take a screenshot in your mobile or a photograph in the screen, teachers. See, I have taken the unit 1, a world with robots, for 4th standard in term 1. I gave you all the LOs under the page number and also the topic itself. If you are need, just take a screenshot or take a photo. Now I am going to explain one by one. What is the learning outcome here and how it comes? I am going to here to explain. Let me move on to another slide, teachers. See this second slide also, teachers. You can also have a screenshot or take a photo. It will be useful for you to take classes in your next training. By using this, you can frame activities for all the terms and for all the units. Okay, teachers. See? Now, what is here? Let us learn activity, the trick robot. What are the learning outcomes comprises here? E402, E404, E409, E410, E412. It's not your duty to comprise all these learning outcomes. You can take any 2 or 3 according to your wish. You can frame activities in your lesson plan and you can make the students to achieve the learning outcome. What is the E402? Here the let us learn is nothing but prose. They are not given in direct meaning. They through this honeybee, they gave us let us learn. This let us learn is nothing but the prose piece. Through this prose piece, the students will be able to achieve the E402 learning outcome. What will the E402? Enacts different roles in skits. See, here is a boy and a robot. You just taught the lesson and make the students to read and give time to enact. And what is E404? You just take down your module, teachers, and take the page number 42 and just reading. Just connect this lesson with the learning outcome. What is E404? Response verbally in writing in English to questions based on day-to-day life experiences, an article, story or poem heard or read. See, this is the unfamiliar story to him. If you are asked questions related to this lesson, he will be able to respond verbally. And E409, what is E409 here? Infers the meaning of unfamiliar words by reading them in context. Infers means guessing. I mean, yuhittal. If he comes over any unknown word or unfamiliar word, he will be able to infer. So this learning outcome will be achieved in this prose piece. And next, E410 uses dictionary to find out spelling and meaning. During in library period or in the classroom itself, you practices the students to use the dictionary to find out the spelling meaning for unknown words. And E412, what is E412 here? Uses punctuation marks appropriately in reading, allowed with intonations and pauses such as question mark, comma, and full stop. Yes, if he or she is able to read this lesson, they must give a pause between every sentences and between commas So it's our duty to give more reading practices, that only we can achieve this E412. Let me move on to next slide, teachers. Okay. Let us understand activity. Let us understand is nothing but the evaluation activity that is given after every let us learn prose piece, and let us sing poem piece, and let us read supplementary reader. So by understanding or knowing the meaning of the lesson, he or she will be able to answer these questions either orally or by verbally. For this, E404 and E413 is achieved. What is E404? Response verbally in writing in English to questions based on day-to-day life experiences, an article, story, or poem heard or read. What is E413? Uses punctuation marks appropriately in writing, such as question mark, comma, full stop, and capital letters. I think you'll be clear, teachers. Let me move on to next. Okay. What is let us build? Let us build is nothing but vocabulary section. They do not know that they are learning grammar. They does not know that they are learning grammar, but this is also the grammar part. And through this, they can understand, they can achieve this learning outcome. E403, E404, E416. What is E403? E403 is response to simple instructions, announcements in English made in class, school. See, if you ask a child to take one chalk piece, he can come and take only one chalk piece. If he take one chalk piece, that is in singular, he can achieve this learning outcome. You can alter this question. Take 2 bags. If he can take 2 bags, that is in plural form, they can achieve. So by simple instructions, you can check whether they can achieve or not. What is E404? That also we have already known, response verbally in writing. While writing itself, he will be able to put a proper singular and plural for those sentences. And what is E416? E416 is uses nouns, verbs, adjectives, and prepositions in speech and writing. While he is given a chance to speak or to write, he must use the proper singular and plural or the proper grammar part. Okay. And let us sing is nothing but the poem part. Through this, they can be able to achieve this E401, E409, E410, and E404. And for every page, there will be given the note to the teacher. By using that, you can frame an activity. What is E401? Recites poem with appropriate expressions and intonation. E409 is infers the meaning of unfamiliar words by reading them in context. E410 is, I have explained you already, teachers, so I am running fast. E410 is uses dictionary to find out spelling and meaning. E404 is response verbally in writing to English, like that. Next slide is let us know. Let us know is nothing but purely grammar part. And here they have given proper noun and common noun. And for this, which learning outcome we can achieve? E416 uses nouns, verbs, adjectives, and prepositions in speech and writing. And next slide is let us listen activity. See, for listen to the audio and answer the following. Here, listening and also speaking skill will be developed. Here also a note to the teacher is given. Through this, E404 and E419 learning outcome will be achieved. What is E404? Response verbally in writing in English. Right? And what is E419? Presents orally and in writing the highlights of a given written text. A short speech, narration, video, film, pictures, or photograph. Yes, this E419 suitably suits to this let us listen activity. Through this activity, we can be able to achieve this E419. What does mean by highlighting? Highlighting is nothing but sorting out the important things in that audio part or video part, whatever it may be. Let me move on to another slide. See, teachers. Let us speak. Let us speak activity. What is there given in there? See how they speak at the situation and practice as you were in that situation. First, you make the students to understand the meaning, and you must explain and make the students to speak, and you must frame more situations to practice. See, note to the teachers. Make the children practice these phrases and give them different scenarios to practice. Here, listening and speaking skill is developed. See here, many learning outcomes is to be achieved here. E402 we have already known, and E403 also, E404, and apart from that E405. What is E405? Describes briefly. Here briefly means in short. Orally in writing about events, places, and our personal experiences in English. By through this speaking part, if he can personal experiences like this, he or she can be able to talk to you. Before that, I have to give you a small thing, teacher. See, English, for English, we are the only source, and our classroom is the only source. Apart from that, they can't be able to hear even a single word. See, in their house, their relatives, in the society, they can see those people are talking only Tamil, and in their house itself, they can listen to Tamil news, and if they can buy newspapers, they can also read only Tamil. So we are the only source, and our classroom is the only source. How we can develop? We are the king and queen of our classroom. So it's our duty to speak, whether it may be right or wrong. First, we have to speak in English before our students. Then only they can be able to respond to us in English. So it's our prime duty to speak to them in English, teachers. Let me read E412. What is E412? We have already known. Uses punctuation marks appropriately in reading aloud. While speaking itself, he has to give importance to punctuation, that he has to stop while speaking. If there is any need, he has to give a pause. And what is E415? Uses linkers to indicate connections between words and sentences such as first, next. These conjunction words, that means this linker word will be used in need while he or she is talking. What is E419? E419, the same, presence orally and writing the highlights of a given written text, like that. Okay, teachers, let me move on to next slide. Let us read is nothing but the supplementary reader, and the supplementary reader comprises of E402, E409, E410, E412. What is E402? Enacts different roles in short skits. Here you can make the students as friends and Anita and make them to enact to this robot expo. What is E409? Infers the meaning of unfamiliar words. And E410 is uses dictionary to find out spelling and meaning. And E412 is nothing but uses punctuation. Okay. Let me move on to next slide. What is read aloud? This read aloud, let us read aloud is main activity, that this passage is to be read by our students in particular. And for this activity, see this in some other lessons, this also comes under comprehension activity also. They frame 5 questions and makes the students to answer. For this, what are the LOs that comprises here? E404. E404 we have already known, response verbally in writing. E409 infers the meaning of unfamiliar words. E410 uses dictionary, and E412 uses punctuation appropriately in reading aloud, like that. Okay, teachers. And the next is let us write. What's let us write? The students will be able to write by his own. See, E413 and E416 is comprises of. What is E413? Uses punctuation marks appropriately in writing, such as question mark, comma, full stop, and capital letters. And for E416 is uses nouns, verb, adjectives. This is the application form writing activity. There are creative writing activity, writing informal letters. So for that, punctuation marks is very important. And next, see, brainy boxes are here in each and every lesson, teachers. What is this brainy boxes? Brainy boxes is nothing but they're asked some questions. We make the students to talk apart from the lesson. So this is speaking skill is developed here. And for this, E415, 16, 18, and 19 is developed. What is E415? Uses linkers. And E416 uses nouns, verbs, adjectives. And what is E418? Speaks briefly on a familiar issue like conservation of water and experiences of day-to-day life like visit to a zoo, going to a mela, etc. And E419 we have already known. So let us write. E414 comprises of, what is E414? Writes informal letters or messages with a sense of audience. See, this is in second term, teachers. I have placed you for to comprise this E406 and E417. Let us read aloud, read the advertisement and answer the questions given below. See, this reading the advertisement will take place inside the classroom and maybe outside the classroom. Whether he is going to a society and he sees the advertisement, he or she must be able to read. What is E406? Reads subtitles on TV, titles of books, news, headlines, pamphlets, and advertisements. See, this E406 activity will also take place in our library time and in reading the book bucket, Puttaka Pungathu. We have already know. In that period also, the students will be able to achieve this E406. What is E417? What is the difference between these two, teachers? Both are same. The slight difference is E406 is nothing but reading the headlines. And E417 is nothing but reads printed script on the classroom walls, notice board, in posters and in advertisement. If he or she is able to read a newspaper, his duty is not to read only the heading, but under the heading, a concept will be there. He or she must be able to read. That learning outcome will be achieved here is E417. By reading the headline itself, E406 is completed. And reading the context, E417 is achieved, teachers. Next. Let us listen activity. Listen to the advertisement and answer the questions. Here E406 and E417. This is in second term, page number 101. And in third term, E411 learning outcome will be achieved. In the page number 104, write a paragraph on cow. Write a paragraph on monkey. Write a paragraph on palm tree. What is this E411? Writes or types dictation of short paragraphs, 7 to 8 sentences by his own. So we have go through all these learning outcomes. See, teachers, in general, E408 will be achieved. What is E408? Solves simple crossword puzzles, builds word chains, etc. You can frame a motivation or evaluation activity by solving out these puzzles and building word chains. Or he or she in his library time, if he can get a chance to solve this also in newspapers. What is this E403? E403 is response to simple instructions, announcements in English made in class. This is general commands. If you can respond to your general commands, this E403 is achieved. And E406, E417, we have already known. This can be achieved through in library time. And E41819, creative or writing. See, teachers, I have only less time. So now I'm here to give you a short outcome of a lesson. For that, I frame you a motivation activity. See, teachers, what will be my motivation? By showing these pictures. What is the learning outcome I have achieved here is listening to puzzles or shares, riddles and tongue twisters. This will be your motivation activity. solving simple crossword puzzles and builds word chain will be your motivation activity. Now I framed here is, I am an animal, I am white in color, who am I? By seeing the picture, the students can answer as rabbit. Ask them to write the first letter. And for the second one, I am a vegetable, see the picture, who am I? This is onion and my first letter is O. I sail on water, who am I? The answer is boat and my first letter is B. I am a bird. I sleep during the day and hunt for food at night. Who am I? Yes, I am an owl. My first letter is O. And the fifth one is, I help you to travel in land. I will travel on rails. Who am I? Train. Yes, my first letter is T. Please arrange these letters, students. Yes, by arranging the letters, what I can get? R, O, B, O, T, robot. Yes, children, in this lesson, we are going to learn about robots. We are going to learn about robots. See my slide. See in your book, page number 75. What is this page? This page is the anchoring page. What does mean by an anchor? An anchor is nothing but who comes and introduces and tells you about the program or about the lesson. What you are going to learn in this lesson is nothing but a world with robots. A world with robots. And the name of this girl is Nila. And she is the anchor here. Hi, I am Nila. I like making robots. Do you? See, Nila likes to make robots. Can you able to make a robot? Yes, at the end of the lesson. Like Nila, you are also going to make a robot, children. Let's move on to next page. See, what is this? This is a robot. Say the spelling of robot. Yes, R-O-B-O-T, robot. See, teachers, and the next page is My Little Pictionary. In our book, page number 76, we are having a honeybee comes and shows you My Little Pictionary. What does mean by a dictionary? Dictionary is nothing but you can find meaning for the hard words. What does mean by a Pictionary? Including the meaning, you can have a picture also. See, these 5 words are there in your lesson, upcoming lesson. See, first picture shows you about lazy. See what this boy is doing? Just lying in one place, and he always watching TV, not doing household work, so he is lazy. And next, rack. Rack is nothing but to place the things in order. And sack. Sack is nothing but by using this, you can hold your things. And humanoid. Humanoid is its resemblance of a human shape, and it is also a robot. And expo. Expo is nothing but an exhibition. Teachers, I am going fast now because only 5 minutes more to end my session. So by using flashcards or by using more pictures, you can make them to read the new words. And the next one is, let us learn the trick robot. And it's our duty to just explain the lesson by bilingual method also, or by using a video. See this Diksha app. In Diksha app, super video is there. There the boy Vicky and his father can talk, and then boy and the robot will also talk. Let me show you a short theme, teachers. This boy is so lazy, and he asks his father to buy him a robot. So his father bought him a tricky robot. What is tricky here means? The boy asks all the work to do by the robot, but the robot did not do any work. He asks to prepare a salad, but the robot did not make for him. Next, he asks to clean his room. The robot did not do. Next, he asked to charge his phone. The robot did not do. He asked to get him a cup of hot tea. The robot does not do. Next, he asked to play a pleasant song. This is also neglected by the robot. At last, he got angry and asked his father to sell this robot. And for that, the robot replies, yes, I want to work for only active people, not like you, like lazy people. At last, the boy knows that he is lazy and he can do his work by himself. This is the theme here. And for this, you can frame activities by reading out and make the students to enact. You can play a video for learning and evaluation activity. See, teachers, I frame you 5 questions. If you are in need, please take a screenshot. My 5 questions will based on that Bloom's taxonomy: analysis, synthesis, knowledge, understand. Please take a screenshot, teachers. I am going to finish my session. And this will be your evaluation activity, and make the students to enact this as a play. Follow-up activity by I gave you just gave the students to make the model of a robot, and will be your follow-up will be make a model of a robot. I have no time, so I just close my sessions. If you have any doubts, you just post me in the comment box, teachers. Once again, I thank you all for making my session good, and thanks all for giving me this opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Good afternoon, teachers. I'm Anuradha from Panchayat Union Middle School, Balayapatti, Bodibag. We have got more knowledge about LOs from the morning session. Now the time is nearly to lunch, so I'm going to take some activities to teach the lesson. First, before go to the lesson, Anuradha, before go to the lesson, first we shortly discuss about what is LO, learning outcome. Learning outcomes are statement, knowledge, and skills. Learning outcomes, students should acquire these at the end of a class or course அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. அது அவன் அந்த டைம்குள்ள அவன் பெற்றிருக்கணும் அப்படின்றாங்க. ஓகே, இப்போ லேர்னிங் அவுட்கம் இஸ் ஹவு டு பி அ குட் லேர்னிங் அவுட்கம். குட் லேர்னிங் அவுட்கம் இஸ் good learning outcome emphasize the application and integration of knowledge. How the student will be able, instead of focusing on coverage of material, how the student will be able to employ the knowledge அந்த மாதிரி தான் சொல்றாங்க. அவங்க இவங்க எப்படி அந்த பையனால கையாள முடியும், அந்த குழந்தைகளால கையாள முடியும் அப்படின்றதுனால நம்ம முக்கியத்துவம் செலுத்தணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஓகே, இப்போ நான் வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் எல்ஓஸ்ல இருந்து சில எல்ஓஸ் பார்க்கலாம்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கேன் டீச்சர்ஸ். அது பார்க்கலாம். இப்போ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல 15 எல்ஓஸ் இருக்கு. இப்போ பேசிக் எல்ஓஸ்ன்னு நம்ம எதை சொல்வோம்? லேர்னிங் ஆஃப் லாங்குவேஜ், நாட் ஒன்லி இங்கிலீஷ் லாங்குவேஜ்ல நம்ம எதை சொல்றோம் டீச்சர்ஸ்? ப்ளீஸ் கமெண்ட் திஸ் இன் பாக்ஸ் டீச்சர். லேர்னிங் ஆஃப் பேசிக் ஸ்கில்ஸ் ஆஃப் லேர்னிங் லாங்குவேஜ் அப்படின்னு எதை சொல்றோம் அப்படின்னா, இது பார்க்கலாமா சார்? ஓகே, லிசனிங் LSRW சொல்றோம். லிசனிங், ஸ்பீக்கிங், ரீடிங், ரைட்டிங். இப்போ லிசனிங் அப்படிங்கும்போது குழந்தைங்க கருவுல இருந்தே அவங்க லிசன் பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னு நம்ம தெரியும். நம்மளுக்கேவும் அவங்களோட எல்லா சென்சார் இதுவும் நம்மளுக்கு ஆக்டிவேட் ஆயிருது அந்த பீரியட்லயும். இப்போ நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லிசனிங் போது இந்த ஃபாரின் லாங்குவேஜ்னு எடுத்துக்கும் போது தமிழ்ல அவன் ஓரளவுக்கு எல்லாமே படிச்சுட்டு தான் வருவான், எல்லா வார்த்தைகளுமே அவனுக்கு தெரியும். ஆனா இங்கிலீஷ்ங்கும் போது அவனுக்கு வந்து வேர்ட்ஸ் தெரியும், ஆனா அது இங்கிலீஷா தமிழான்னு தெரியாது. ஜஸ்ட் அவன் என்ன நினைப்பான், இது the name of a thing, அந்த பொருளோட பேரு அப்படின்ற மாதிரி அவன் யோசிப்பான். ஓகே, இப்போ நம்ம வந்து அடுத்து நெக்ஸ்ட் போறது இப்போ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்டுக்கு எப்படியெல்லாம் நம்ம லேர்னிங் அவுட்கம்ஸ் கொண்டு போக முடியும். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்டுக்குன்னு சொல்லும்போது நிறைய அவனுக்கு டீச்சர்ஸ் டாக் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் தென் மோர் தென் அனதர் பேஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம் டீச்சர்ஸ். ஏன்னா டீச்சர்ஸ் டாக்னா அவன் அடுத்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பேரண்ட்ஸை விட்டுட்டு முதல்ல நம்ம கிட்ட தான் வரான், நம்ம கிட்ட தான் அவன் நிறைய எதிர்பார்ப்பான், நம்ம தான் நிறைய சொல்லிக் கொடுக்க முடியும். அப்போ அவன் நம்மளோட ஒவ்வொரு மூமெண்ட்டும் வாட்ச் பண்ணுவான். என்ன சொல்றாங்க டீச்சர், என்ன சொல்றாங்க, என்ன வேர்டு யூஸ் பண்றாங்க, இதை எப்படி ப்ரொனவுன்ஸ் பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னு அவன் ரொம்ப பார்ப்பான். அப்போ டீச்சர்ஸ் டாக் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அடுத்து வந்து ஸ்கிட், பிக்சர்ஸ் நரேஷன், சின்ன நம்ம ஸ்டோரி நரேஷன் இந்த மாதிரி சொல்லலாம். ரைம்ஸ்ல வந்து அவன் நிறைய வேர்ட்ஸா தெரிஞ்சுக்காட்டின்னு கூட ஓரளவுக்கு புரியாது அவனுக்கு, இருந்தாலும் ஒரு இதா கொண்டு ஒரு என்ஜாய் பண்ணி பாடும்போது அவன் அதை ஈஸியா பிக்கப் பண்ணிடுவான், ஏதோ ஒண்ணா பிக்கப் பண்ணிடுவான். இப்போ எல்ஓஸ்ல வந்து நான் இப்போ என்ன பண்ண போறேன்னா ஒரு எடுத்திருக்கேன் எல்ஓ. அது என்னன்னு நீங்க கெஸ் பண்ண முடியுதா பாருங்க. ஓகே, அதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு வீடியோ பார்த்துக்கலாம் டீச்சர். ஒரு வார்ம் அப் வீடியோஸ் மாதிரி கிரீட்டிங் வீடியோ இப்போ எல்ஓஸ் பார்க்கும்போது சில எல்ஓஸ் வந்து சிங்கிள் லேர்னிங் அவுட்கம் மட்டும் இருக்கும் டீச்சர்ஸ். அதாவது என்ன மாதிரினா, நேம் த ஃபெமிலியர் ஆப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் த பிக்சர்ஸ், அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும். சிம்பிள் ஆப்ஜெக்ட்ஸும் இருக்கும், சிம்பிள் எல்ஓ இருக்கும் சிங்கிள். சிலது வந்து காம்பனன்ட் எல்ஓஸ் இருக்கும். அது எந்த மாதிரினா, சரி வீடியோஸ் பார்த்தலாம் டீச்சர். இப்போ காம்பனன்ட் எல்ஓஸ் பார்க்கும்போது இப்போ ஒரு ஸ்டோரியில இதை நிறைய சொல்லலாம் டீச்சர்ஸ். எப்படின்னா, ஓகே, நம்ம இப்போ காம்பனன்ட் எல்ஓஸ் அப்படின்னு பார்க்கும்போது ஸ்டோரிஸ்ல நிறைய வரும். ஸ்டோரிஸ்ல பார்க்கும்போது ஐடென்டிஃபைஸ் கேரக்டர்ஸ் அண்ட் சீக்வன்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஸ்டோரி அண்ட் ஆஸ்க் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் அபவுட் ஸ்டோரிஸ். அப்போ இது ஒரு 3 எல்ஓஸ் இந்த இதுலயே வந்துருந்துச்சு. அப்போ இந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்டுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி எல்ஓஸ் வரும்போது நம்ம ஒவ்வொரு எல்ஓக்குமே கொஞ்சம் ஸ்பெஷல் கேர் கொடுத்து எல்லாத்துக்குமே கொஞ்சம் ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் ரெடி பண்ணணும். அப்பதான் இது எல்லாமே அவனுக்கு போய் சேர்ந்திருக்கான்னு பார்க்க முடியும். நம்ம ஸ்டோரி மட்டும் அவனுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கான் அப்படின்ற அப்படி நம்ம யோசிக்கிறத தவிர்த்து இந்த ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் இந்த எல்ஓஸ் எல்லாம் அவனுக்கு ஓரளவுக்கு ரீச் ஆயிருக்கா, முழுமை அடைஞ்சிருக்கானா அப்படின்றத நம்ம எல்லா குழந்தைகள் மத்தியிலையும் பார்த்துருந்துச்சேன். ஓகே, இப்போ நான் என்ன எல்ஓஸ் எடுக்கலாம்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கேன்னா, நான் ஒரு சாங் ரைம் பார்க்குறேன். நீங்க அதை கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியுதா பாருங்க. குட் மார்னிங் டு யூ அண்ட் யூ அண்ட் யூ, லெட்ஸ் சே ஹலோ as loud as we can. Hello. Good morning to you and you and you. Let's say hello as quietly as we can. Hello. Okay. இது ஒரு சாங் டீச்சர். சரி, நான் வேற ஒரு சில இது சொல்றேன், அதுல இருந்து கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியுதா பாருங்க. Thanks for watching me. Please pay your attention here, teachers. Sorry, some technical problems are here. Okay. Not the problem கிடையாது, நான் உங்களுக்கு அந்த இதுக்காண்டி கொடுத்தேன் டீச்சர். ஓகே டீச்சர், நான் என்ன சொல்ல வந்திருக்கேன்னா greetings. இப்போ நான் என்ன எல்ஓ எடுத்திருக்கேன் அப்படின்னா 13. இங்கிலீஷ்ல நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்டுக்கு பார்க்கும்போது E101 இங்கிலீஷ் 101ல. இப்போ நம்ம டோட்டலி டீச்சர் E10 போட்டிருக்காங்க, சார் போட்டிருக்காங்க. சரியா? எஸ், கரெக்ட் சார். இப்போ E10ல என்ன பார்க்கலாம் அப்படின்னா கிரீட்டிங்ஸ். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லிசன்ஸ் டு வேர்ட்ஸ். அவன் புதுசா ஸ்கூலுக்குள்ள வரும்போது இங்கிலீஷ் வேர்ட்ஸ் அவன் நிறைய கேட்கிறான். லிசன்ஸ் டு வேர்ட்ஸ், கிரீட்டிங்ஸ், பொலைட் எக்ஸ்பிரஷன்ஸ் அண்ட் சிம்பிள் சென்டென்சஸ் அண்ட் ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் இன் இங்கிலீஷ் அல்லது ஹோம் லாங்குவேஜ் ஆர் சைனிங் ஆல்சோ. சில சைன் மூலமா கூட அவனோட ரெஸ்பாண்ட் அவன் சொல்லலாம். இப்போ வேர்ட்ஸ் சைன்னா என்ன சொல்லலாம் டீச்சர்னா, ஹூஸ் பென் இஸ் திஸ் அப்படி நம்ம கேட்கும்போது அவன் என்ன சொல்லுவான், ஹி ஜஸ்ட் ரைஸ் ஹிஸ் ஹேண்ட். கையை மட்டும் தான் தூக்க முடியும், கை தூக்குவான் அப்படி நிற்பாங்க. அப்ப அந்த மாதிரி நம்ம சில இதை சைன் மூலமா அவன் சொல்றதை அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். இப்போ வேர்ட்ஸுங்கும் போது ஆக்ஷன் வேர்ட்ஸ் அப்படின்றது ரொம்பவே ஈஸியா அவனால ரீச் பண்ண முடியும். மற்றதெல்லாம் விட ஆக்ஷன் வேர்ட்ஸுங்கும் போது நம்ம ஆக்ஷனோட பண்ணும்போது சீக்கிரம் பிக்கப் பண்ணிக்குவோம். நம்ம நிறைய யூஸ் பண்றதுக்குரிய இடங்களும் அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல அதிகமா இருக்கும். கம், கோ, சிட், ஸ்டாண்ட், ஈட், ட்ரிங்க், அந்த மாதிரி நம்ம ஆக்ஷனோட பண்ணும்போது அவன் ஈஸியா பிக்கப் பண்ண முடியும் அவனால. ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒரு கிரீட்டிங்ஸ். இப்போ பார்த்தது நம்ம என்ன சொல்லுவோம் டீச்சர், கிரீட்டிங் அப்படிங்கிறது இப்போ ஒரு நம்ம வார்ம் அப் சாங் மாதிரி பார்த்தோம். அது பார்க்கும்போது ஒரு கிரீட்டிங்கிறது ஒரு 2 பேருக்குள்ள ரிலேஷனை அது பாண்ட் பண்ணும். நம்ம டீச்சர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிறத விட நம்ம இங்க வந்திருக்கோம், டீச்சர் ஏதோ சொல்லி கொடுக்குறாங்க நம்மளுக்கு அப்படின்ற ஒரு மாதிரி பிள்ளைங்க நம்ம கிட்ட நெருங்கி வர்றதுக்கு அது ஒரு வாய்ப்பா அமையும். கிரீட்டிங் நம்மளே என்ன பண்ணலாம், குழந்தைகளை பார்த்துட்டு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அவங்க குட் மார்னிங் சொல்லுவாங்க, கண்டிப்பா சொல்லுவாங்க. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் அப்படி சொல்லுவாங்களான்னு தெரியல, நம்ம பழக்கி விட்ட பிறகு சொல்லுவாங்க. இப்ப நம்மளே இப்ப பார்க்கும்போது குழந்தைகளோட ஒரு நேம் சொல்லலாம். இப்ப யாழினி அப்படி இருக்காங்கன்னா குட் மார்னிங் யாழினி, குட் மார்னிங் பாபு, அந்த மாதிரி சொல்லும் போது அவங்க ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா ஃபீல் பண்ணுவாங்க. டீச்சர் நம்மளோட பேர் சொல்லிட்டாங்க அப்படின்னு அவங்க ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஒரு மாதிரி ஆக்டிவா இருப்பாங்க. எல்லார்கிட்டையும் போய் அதை சொல்லுவாங்க. வீட்டுல கூட அவங்க கிட்ட, பேரண்ட்ஸ் கிட்ட எல்லார்கிட்டயுமே சொல்லுவாங்க. அப்ப அந்த கிரீட்டிங்ன்றது அவங்களுக்குள்ள ஒரு கான்ஃபிடன்ட் நிஜமாலே வளர்க்கும். அப்போ நம்ம சொல்லும்போது என்ன சொல்லலாம்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து கிரீட்டிங். நம்மளுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல இருக்கிறது இந்த எல்ஓ வந்து கிரீட்டிங்ஸ்ல ஹலோ அண்ட் குட் மார்னிங் அது மட்டும் தான் இருக்கு டீச்சர்ஸ். அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லெசன்லேயே இருக்கு மை பிளே அதுல இருக்கு மை பெட்ல. அப்போ நம்ம அது வந்து நிறைய குட் ஆஃப்டர்நூன் குட் ஈவினிங் இந்த டைம்ல எதை சொல்லலாம் அப்படின்றத நம்ம அவங்களுக்கு சொல்லி கொடுக்கலாம். ஹாய் ஹலோ அந்த மாதிரி அவங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் பார்த்ததுமே அதை ஷேர் பண்ற மாதிரியும் நம்ம சொல்லலாம். ஹாய் அப்படி சொல்லி அவங்க ஹாய் ஹலோ அப்படின்னு டெய்லியுமே சொல்ற மாதிரி நம்ம அவங்கள பழக்கி விடலாம். அந்த ஒரு வீடியோ சாங்ஸ் பார்த்தலாம் டீச்சர்ஸ். ஓகே, அடுத்து பொலைட் எக்ஸ்பிரஷன்ஸ் நம்ம அது வீடியோஸ் டீச்சர்ஸ். அடுத்து நம்ம பொலைட் ஃபார்ம் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்பிரஷன்ஸ் பார்க்கும்போது நம்மளுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல வந்து இதுல இருக்கிறது வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டேம்ல வந்து சாரி அண்ட் தேங்க்யூ மட்டும் வந்திருக்கு. ப்ளீஸ் அவங்க மென்ஷன் அந்த இந்த எல்ஓஸ்லையுமே வராது இருந்துச்சு. நம்ம சொல்லும்போது இப்போ எக்ஸ்கியூஸ் மீ, ப்ளீஸ், சாரி, தேங்க்யூ இந்த பொலைட் ஃபார்ம் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்பிரஷன்ஸ் எல்லாமே நம்ம உங்களுக்கு டீச் பண்ணலாம் டீச்சர்ஸ். இப்போ சாரி when you ask sorry to others அப்படி கேட்டோம்னா when we make mistake or hurt someone we have to ask sorry. When you say thank you for others அப்படி கேட்டோம்னா we get some help or some things from others, we say thank you. Next, please. If you need something from others, what you say, how to ask? Please, please. We can use this word here. Okay. இப்போ இப்போ நம்ம அந்த சாங்லே பார்த்தோம்ல டீச்சர்ஸ், அந்த மாதிரி இப்போ நம்ம ஸ்டூடெண்ட்க்கு சொல்ற மாதிரி அந்த சாங்லே பார்த்தோம்லப்பா. அப்போ அந்த மாதிரி எந்தெந்த இடங்கள்ல நம்ம சாரி, தேங்க்யூ, ப்ளீஸ் அதெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணணும்னு ஒரு திருப்பி சொல்லி கொடுக்கலாம். முடிச்சுட்டு இது ஒரு குட்டி ஆக்டிவிட்டி மாதிரி எப்படி பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னா, now you are all children, so please comment your answers in the comment box, teachers. Okay. You broke the pencil of your friend. You broke the pencil of your friend. What do you say? What do you say? Sorry or thank you? What will you say? Sorry or thank you? Please comment your answers, teacher. Sorry. Very good. Thank you, teacher. Well, Priya, teacher. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. You need a pencil. You need a pencil from your friend. How to ask from him? How to ask the pencil from him? Sorry, give your pencil, or please give your pencil. How to ask? Please. Thank you, teacher. Please. Okay. If he gives the pencil, what do you say? If he gave the pencil for you, what do you say? Sorry or thank you? You asked the pencil from your friend. He gave you. What do you say? Thanks. Very good. Thank you, teachers. Thank you. If your friend sit in front of you, you want to move some. How to ask? Please move or sorry move? How to ask? Please or sorry? How to ask? Please move or sorry move? Please. Thank you, teachers. Sentences. Simple sentences. இப்போ நம்ம குழந்தைகிட்ட சொல்லும் போதேவும் அவங்கள சொல்லும் போதே இந்த மாதிரி தான் சொல்லலாம். இந்த மாதிரி நம்ம உங்களுக்கு ட்ரெயின் பண்ணலாம் டீச்சர்ஸ். ப்ளீஸ் மூவ், கிவ் யுவர் பென்சில். அப்போ அவங்க ஏதாவது சொல்லும்போது வாட் இஸ் திஸ் அப்படி கேட்கும்போது திஸ் இஸ் அ பென். அவனை சொல்லும்போது திஸ் இஸ் அ பென். இது நம்மளுக்கு எல்லாமே இந்த எல்ஓஸ், இட் இஸ் ஏன், திஸ் இஸ் ஏன் எல்லாமே பின்னாடி ஒரு தனித்தனி எல்ஓஸா வருது டீச்சர்ஸ். ஆனா இது எல்லாமே சிம்பிள் சென்டென்ஸ்ல வர்றதுன்றதுனால அவனுக்கு வந்து நம்ம அதை சொல்லியே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இருந்தே நம்ம அதை தனி எல்ஓ அப்படின்னு இது பண்ணாம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இருந்தே அவனுக்கு சொல்லும்போது எல்லாத்தையும் சொல்லி சொல்லும்போது அவனுக்கு ஈஸியா அது ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ண முடியும் அவனால. அதுக்கு ஒரு ஆக்டிவிட்டி மட்டும் பார்த்துடலாம் டீச்சர்ஸ். தேர்ட் சம். இந்த ஆக்டிவிட்டி வீரலட்சுமி டீச்சர், பிசிபட்டி டீச்சர் அவங்க வந்து கொடுத்துருக்காங்க டீச்சர். அவங்க கிளாஸ்ல ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணதை நான் இது பண்ணலாம்னு நினைச்சுக்கேன்.
ஆடியோ நினைக்கிறேன். நீங்களோட பேசியது
ஓகே சார்.
வீடியோ ஆடியோ நீங்க எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுங்க.
இப்போ சிம்பிள் சென்டென்சஸ்ல அவங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ற மாதிரி பண்ணலாம். அவங்க கிட்ட நம்ம கொஸ்டினா கேட்கும்போது வாட் இஸ் திஸ் அப்படிங்கும்போது இது ஒரு சர்க்கிள் மாதிரி இந்த கேம் எப்படி பண்றாங்கன்னு நினைச்சா ஒரு சர்க்கிள் மாதிரி நிக்கலாம். நின்றுட்டு வீடியோஸ் வருமா சார்? அந்த சாங் வேணும் சார். அந்த சாங் வேணும். அந்த சாங் ரைட் சார். சவுண்ட் வந்துச்சாங்க சார்? The song. ஓகே டீச்சர்ஸ், இந்த சாங் நம்மளுக்கு வீடியோ ஆடியோஸ் கிடைக்கல, அதனால இப்போ வந்து அவங்க என்ன செஞ்சிருக்காங்கன்னா அந்த கேம்ல நிறைய பிக்சர்ஸ் கட் பண்ணி கொடுத்துட்டு அவங்க இண்டிவிஜுவலா அதை வச்சு இட் இஸ் எ வாட்டர்மெலன், இட் இஸ் ஆப்பிள், இட் இஸ் பால், இட் இஸ் எ பால், அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ரவுண்டா இருந்து ஒரு கேம் மாதிரி அது பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அது நல்லா இருக்கும் டீச்சர்ஸ். சரி, ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட். இது மூலமா இந்த எல்வோஸ் வந்து நம்ம இதை திரும்பி இப்ப பண்ணும் போதேவும் அவன்கிட்ட எவாலுவேட்டும் பண்ணிடலாம். அவனோட நம்ம அந்த ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் வச்சு எவாலுவேட் பண்ண முடியும் டீச்சர்ஸ். அதாவது வேர்ட்ஸ் இப்ப திருப்பி அந்த எல்வோஸ் வராட்ட சொல்லிடுறேன் டீச்சர். இப்போ அந்த ஆடியோவோட அந்த வீடியோ பார்த்துடலாம் டீச்சர். இப்போ இந்த லேர்னிங் அவுட்கம்ல எது அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா இந்த லேர்னிங் அவுட்கம் ரீகால் பண்றேன். Listens to words, greetings, polite forms of polite expressions. Okay, இந்த சாங் பார்த்தலாம் சார். Thank you, Veeralakshmi teacher. Okay, இப்போ next we are going to discuss about nouns. இப்போ nouns அப்படின்னு பார்க்கும்போது நவுன்ஸ்னா என்னன்னு பார்த்தோம்னா அது சிம்பிளா சொல்லணும், நேமிங் வேர்ட். எல்லா நேமிங் வேர்ட் நம்ம எல்லா லெசன்ல இந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல இருக்கிற லுக் அண்ட் சே வர்ற எல்லாமே நேமிங் வேர்ட் தான் டீச்சர்ஸ். அது அவனுக்கு நமக்கு அந்த லெசன் படி பார்த்தோம்னாலே தெரியும். அது அவனோட ஃபெமிலியர் ஆப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் தான் எல்லாமே இருக்கும். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதோட நேம் அவன் தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். சில நேம்ஸ் அவன் என்ன பண்ணுவான்னா இங்கிலீஷ்லயே சொல்லுவான், அதான் தமிழ்லாம் கூட இருக்கலாம்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருப்பான். ஃபேன், டிவி, சேர், இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாமே நேமிங் வேர்டு தான். அப்போ இப்போ நம்ம முறையாக இது ஒரு ஃபாரின் லாங்குவேஜ் அப்படின்னா அதோட வேர்ட்ஸ் நம்ம இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்றோம் வித் பிக்சர்ஸோட. ஓகே டீச்சர்ஸ், இப்போ அந்த நவுன்ஸ்க்கு இப்போ அடுத்த செக்ஷன், இப்போ அடுத்த எல்ஓ போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு வார்ம் அப் ஆக்டிவிட்டி மாதிரி ஒரு டீச்சரே தான், வீரலட்சுமி டீச்சரே தான் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. அதையும் பார்க்கலாம் டீச்சர்ஸ் நெக்ஸ்ட் வீடியோஸ். Teachers, இப்போ நம்ம L1 next LO uses nouns and uses nouns such as boy, son and preposition in, on, under அப்படின்ற LOs எடுத்து பார்க்கலாம் டீச்சர்ஸ். இப்போ noun அப்படிங்கிறது நேமிங் வேர்ட். நேமிங் வேர்ட் it will be a name of person, thing, place, animal, bird, anyone. எந்த ஒரு இதாகவும் இருக்கலாம் டீச்சர் நேம்ன்றது. இப்போதுக்கு ஒரு சின்ன ஆக்டிவிட்டி வச்சிருக்கேன், நீங்க அதுல பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்ணுங்க டீச்சர்ஸ். இப்போ இதை நான் வந்து I have 2 dice. இப்போ இதுல என்ன இருக்குன்னா this one has numbers, this one has things, animal, flower, bird, place and person. இப்போ 2 இருக்கு, என்கிட்ட 2 இருக்கு. I have 2 dice. இப்போ என்ன பண்ணணும்னா இப்போ ரெண்டுமே நம்ம இப்போ கீழே யாருன்னா டேபிளா இருந்தா அப்படி உருட்டலாம் அடிச்ச பிள்ளைங்க கிட்ட இப்படி காமிக்கும்போது இப்போ நம்ம இது பண்ணும்போது ஷேக் பண்ணும்போது 2 வந்திருக்கு, பிளேஸ் வந்திருக்கு. இப்போ நீங்க ஒரு 2 பிளேசஸ் டெக்ஸ்ட் பண்ணுங்க டீச்சர்ஸ். Please text name of 2 places. Teni body. Okay, teacher, thank you. Next. 5 flowers. Kambam teach in the chedi. Teacher, 5 flowers name teachers. Now, this activity for teaching now. Rose. Five flowers. Okay, thank you teachers. இப்போ நம்ம அதுக்கு ஒரு நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒரு இன்னொரு ஆக்டிவிட்டி பார்த்துடலாம். இது ஒன்று ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் பாருங்க டீச்சர்ஸ். வாட் இஸ் திஸ்? திஸ் இஸ் அ ஹவுஸ். பார்க்க முடியுதா டீச்சர்ஸ்? தெளிவா பார்க்க முடியுதா? Can you see clearly? தெரியுமா சார்? ஹவுஸ். இப்போ இந்த ஹவுஸ்னா இது ஏன் இந்த ஹவுஸ் நான் எடுத்திருக்கேன்னா அவனுக்கு ரொம்ப ஃபெமிலியரானது வீட்டுக்குள்ள இருக்கிற பொருட்கள் தான். அதனால அது மூலமாவே அவன் அதை தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறட்டும். அப்புறம் ஸ்கூலுக்கு வரதுனால ஸ்கூலோட திங்ஸ் அந்த பொருட்களை நவுன்ற எல்ஓஸ் வரும்போது தெரிஞ்சுக்கலான்றதுக்காக நான் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணிருக்கேன் டீச்சர்ஸ். இப்போ வாட் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ரூம்ஸ் ஆர் இன் ஹவுஸ்? ஒரு ஹவுஸ் அப்படின்னா என்னென்ன ரூம்ஸ் இருக்கும் அதுல பார்க்கலாம். இது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஹவுஸ். திஸ் இஸ் ஹவுஸ். These are doors. These are windows. This is roof. House open பண்ணலாமா? இப்போ வீட்டுக்குள்ள போறோம். வீட்டுக்குள்ள போனோனே என்ன இருக்கும்? What is the first? This is hall or living room. இப்போ இங்க போனது என்ன இருக்கு? This is doormat, table. This is floor vase. What is this? Can you judge teachers? Calendar, fan, lamp, television or TV, wall clock. What is flying in the TV? Crow. என்ன இருக்கு டிவிக்குள்ள? என்ன இருக்கு? Crow. Chair. Switchboard. Switch box. Wire. Next room is bedroom. Bedroom. This is cot. This is cot. These are pillows. Innadhu pillows. Windows, curtain, mirror, table, dressing table. This is cupboard. Books, night lamp, night lamp. Next one is kitchen. Kitchen. What is this? Fridge, refrigerator, fridge. Stove. This is cooker, pan, pot, jug, tap, where we use this tap? We use this tap for washing our hands. When you wash your hands, We wash our hands before and after eating. Good. This is cupboard. More vessels are in this cupboard. This is table, dining table. 2 chairs. These are the back side of the house. என்னது இது வீட்டுக்கு பின்புறம் இருக்கு. Mountain, river, sun, birds, trees, tree. What tree is this? Can you see it? What tree is this? Can you say anyone? Coconut tree. This is tender coconut. This is tender coconut. These are tender coconuts. More than one. So coconuts, tender coconuts. This is, which tree is this? Which tree is this? Mango tree. These are mangoes. 2 flower pots. Flower. Leaf. Rose. This flower name is rose. Red color rose. Okay. Now we are going to close this house. House. Okay teachers, இது வந்து அவனுக்கு ஒன் டேல இவ்வளோ வேர்ட்ஸ்லாம் சொல்லிக் கொடுக்க முடியாது. அவனோட ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. இது நம்ம சொல்லிட்டே இருக்கலாம். அவனுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும், நிறைய வார்த்தைகள் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும், நம்ம தெரியாதுன்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருப்போம். ஆனா அதெல்லாம் அவனுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும், வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. அதனால அவன் அடுத்தடுத்து நம்ம திருப்பி அதை ரீகால் பண்ணும்போது கண்டிப்பா இதுல நிறைய நவுன்ஸ் அவன் வந்து தெரிஞ்சுக்கிடுவான். இப்போ நெக்ஸ்ட் டீச்சர்ஸ், ப்ரிப்போசிஷன் அப்படின்னு பார்க்க போறோம். ப்ரிப்போசிஷன் பார்க்கும்போது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல இருக்கிறது எவ்வளவு நேரம் முடிக்கணும் முடிச்சிருங்க. ஓகே டீச்சர்ஸ், இப்போ ப்ரிப்போசிஷன் பார்க்கும்போது இப்போ ப்ரிப்போசிஷன் பார்க்கலாம். இன், ஆன், அண்டர். இது நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல 3rd டேர்ம்ல இருக்கு. ஆனா இந்த சாங் வந்து நம்ம தீக்ஷால முன்னாடியே வந்துடும் டீச்சர். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டேர்ம்லயே இந்த சாங்ஸ் நம்ம பார்க்க முடியும். அதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சொன்ன மாதிரி அவன் எல்லாத்தையுமே தெரியும், இதுதான் ப்ரிப்போசிஷன் அப்படின்லாம் எல்லாம் தெரியாம அவனா எல்லாமே பாடுவான். அந்த சாங் இருக்கு, அது நம்ம தீக்ஷால பார்க்கும்போது நீங்க பார்க்க முடியும். இப்போ அதுக்கு சில ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் பார்க்கலாம். இன், ஆன், அண்டர். ஸ்கூல்லயே நம்மளோட இந்த கிட்ல இருக்கும், இது பார்த்துருப்போம். பாக்ஸ், இன், ஆன், அண்டர்ங்கும் போது நம்ம நிறைய டிஎல்எம் வந்து நிறைய பண்ணலாம். இதை அவங்க இது கொடுத்துருக்காங்க, இது ஒன்றும் நான் காமிச்சிடுறேன். அப்புறம் நான் கொஞ்சம் ரெடி பண்ணியிருக்கேன், அது ஒன்று காமிச்சிடுறேன் டீச்சர்ஸ். What is this? This is rat. What is this? This is a rat. Now, this rat is on the box. What is this? This is box. This is box. Now, the rat is on the box. Where is the rat now? On the box. Now, it runs to into the box. In the box. Where is the rat now? In the box. Where is the rat now? Sorry. In the box. Where is the rat now? In the box. Okay. Now, it is under the box. Where is the rat now? Under. In, on, under. This is a ball. In, where is the ball now? In the box. On, under. Now we are going to see some pictures. Box. Ball. The ball is in the box. The ball is in the box. The apple is on the box. Where is the rat? Sorry, cat. Is this rat or cat? Cat. Where is the cat? The cat is in the bag. This is clock. What clock? We already have seen the picture for noun. In the house, we saw this wall clock. Okay. This is, where is the clock? The clock is on the wall. Where is the boy? The boy is under the tree. This is toy. We use this toy to play. விளையாடுவோம் இல்லையா நம்ம அந்த play, அந்த toy, பொம்மை. எங்க இருக்கு? Where is the toy? The toy is under the cot. Okay. இப்போ ஒரு ரைம்ஸ் பார்த்தலாம் டீச்சருக்கு ரிலேட்டடா. நெக்ஸ்ட் சம். சார் 6 சார் 6. இப்போ நம்ம அந்த லெட்டர்ஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் அந்த மாதிரி அந்த தீம் கொண்டு போயாச்சு டீச்சர்ஸ். அதுல ஒரு எவாலுவேஷன் இருக்கு, அது நீங்க பார்த்து கண்டுபிடிக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கு டீச்சர்ஸ். அதை நீங்க பாருங்க, நீங்க ஆன்சர் பண்ணுங்க டீச்சர்ஸ் அதோட கொஸ்டின்ஸ்க்கு. யாராவது போடுறது? இந்த வீடியோ சென்ட் வீடியோ
இல்லையா?
அந்த வீடியோ போடுங்க. ஓகே டீச்சர்ஸ், தேங்க்யூ. இப்போ அந்த வீடியோ நம்ம பார்க்க டைமில் நம்மளோட லஞ்ச் டைம் வந்ததுனால க்ளோஸ் திஸ் செஷன். தேங்க்யூ டீச்சர்ஸ். 1 to 2 lunch break teachers.
2 மணிக்கு இருக்கணும்.
Please come on class at 2 o'clock.